Welcome to the MFR Coaches podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the MFR Coaches podcast. If you've been thinking about joining Beyond 100K, but that little voice is whispering, maybe later, today's episode is your reality check. Waiting isn't neutral. Waiting costs you profit, momentum, energy, and the future you're meant to create. Let's talk about it. First, let's be real. Every business owner feels it. That whisper of, not yet, let's wait a little longer, maybe when I'm more ready. It feels safer to delay big moves. But waiting feels safe because it lets you avoid risk, not because it guarantees growth. And growth is risky. It always is. Growth requires decisions before you're 100% sure. Growth requires committing to a vision before you can fully see the outcome. Where in your business right now are you telling yourself maybe later, even though you already know what you want? Really think about it and write it down. Maybe come back and listen to this episode again and write down some of these reflection prompts I'm going to share with you. Here's what waiting really costs you, and it's bigger than just money. Waiting costs you momentum. Every day you delay, you lose the compound interest of tiny wins stacking up. Costs you energy. Decision fatigue sets in when you don't move. Indecision is exhausting. And it costs you confidence. Every month you stay stuck, you reinforce the belief that growth is too hard or not possible for you or not the right timing. It also costs you opportunities, openings you don't step into, collaborations you don't take, clients, ideas, they all pass by. And really, the obvious one is profit. Every month you delay, you're leaving money you could have earned on the table. The business you have today is the result of the decisions that you made 6 months ago. And the business you'll have 6 months from now, it starts with the decisions that you make this week. Imagine it's November. You're looking back at this moment. What would you want your past self, the self you are right now, to have decided? Let me give you a real example of this. One of my clients, Deidre, she tossed around the idea of joining coaching back in the day before she joined. She had built a strong business, but she was exhausted. She almost talked herself into waiting, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. But instead, she decided to move and she joined. She structured her pricing, tightened her systems, and gave herself permission to run her business like a CEO, not just like a therapist. And the results are outstanding. She's created over $160,000 in profit. And more importantly, the feeling that her business was working for her, not the other way around. If she had waited, that profit and that peace would still be on the other side of her hesitation. And that's what we do in Beyond 100K. We build structure, we build confidence, we build calm, profitable businesses that don't just survive. They grow in a way that actually feels good. And it doesn't mean we feel good all of the time, but what does mean that we know what good feels like and how to have that more of the time. Beyond 100K isn't about chasing more work. It's about building better systems to have stronger profits and more freedom. Quick reminder, if you're listening to this and you're ready to stabilize your business, not just survive the ups and downs, Beyond 100K is open for applications right now. Apply now at themfrcoach.com/beyond-100K. Enrollment closes on May 19th and seats are limited because this is real coaching, real strategy, and real transformation. Your business deserves more than duct tape and hope. Let's build it the right way. Here's a big truth. The longer you wait, the harder it gets to move in your business. Momentum loves speed. When you act, you create proof for yourself that you're capable of more. When you wait, you create proof for yourself that you should doubt, hesitate, and delay. And it just feeds that over and over and over again. And it gets heavier each time you recreate that wheel. What beliefs are you strengthening by delaying your next step? This is another question to ask yourself. Write it down, make yourself answer it. You don't have to be 100% ready. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to be willing, because staying stuck is a decision too. It's just the most expensive one. The right next move is here. It's clear and it's available to you right now. So if you're currently making $75,000 in revenue in your service-based business, you are ready to join Beyond 100K. If today hit you in the gut a little bit, that's good. That means you're standing on the edge of something important. So step forward and allow yourself to apply for Beyond 100K Mastermind. You'll thank yourself 6 months from now, and you will just love the results that you're going to create for yourself. And I would love to work with you. And I like to think back to the time in my business where I was creating this coaching program and had no idea I'd be inviting people to join a mastermind 5 years in. But Heather back then made moves and made decisions without knowing what the future held, without any guarantee that people would ever join coaching, without any guarantee that I would ever make $1 doing this. And we all start our MFR practices or our occupational therapy private practices or our physical therapy private practices or our massage therapy private practices in the same way. No one ever promises that we're going to make any money. And before you know it, you're fully booked. And before you know it, you're not only fully booked, but you're stressed out about your business. And before that, or after that, you are like on a hamster wheel that you feel like you can't get off, because if you stop for 1 second, you feel like you'll lose it all. And I just want you to know that that's not the way it has to be. And scaling your business can be whatever that means to you. For me, it just means that you have more of everything, more time off, more profit, more ease, and you feel more better more often. You feel like you know what to do. You feel like you know how to get answers to the problems that you have in your business. And you also know how to actively search for problems too, so that you can solve them. And I just want to help you do those things. So I hope that you will take the time to send in your application and book a sales call with me. And I would love to go over what's next for you in your business if you're at that level of making 75K or more in revenue. So join me. And I'll see you next week on another episode of the MFR Coaches Podcast. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a minute and rate and review the podcast. I appreciate it. For more information, please follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The MFR Coach. And check out my website, www.themfrcoach.com, for more information. If you are currently not working 20 hours or less and making 6 figures in your MFR business, I want to help you change that. Make sure you tune into the show and get on my email list so you never miss out on important trainings and information. To be the first to find out when we are enrolling next for my 12-month Business Foundations coaching program, get on that email list at www.themfrcoach.com/join. Inside this program, you'll learn how to raise your rate, overcome objections, and sell MFR. You'll become the MFR therapist that never under-earns and never burns out. It's up to us to make MFR mainstream, and it starts with you and your successful MFR practice. See you next week.